The survivor's voice trembled, recounting every detail of the attack. Shots fired. Shadows moving. The suddenness of it all. It was a pattern we recognized. The Zodiac's method. Precise, calculated, terrifying. Every survivor gave us insight. Every detail a clue to his next strike. He spoke of the calm before the attack. The silence that made the bullets hit faster. His targets were never random. Isolated couples, late-night workers, anyone fitting a pattern. And in that terror, he left his signature. The Zodiac killed not just to end life, but to instill fear. I logged every detail. Angles, distances, timing between attacks, victim type. 5 confirmed deaths, 1 survivor, dozens living in terror. Patterns began to emerge. Yet, even with them, predicting his next move felt impossible. Lake Herman Road, Blue Rock Springs, Vallejo, Napa. Each ambush executed with precision. Each victim carefully chosen. The Zodiac's method was deliberate. His letters and ciphers were extensions of the killings themselves. We had patterns, yes, but he was clever, patient, and unpredictable. Every attack was calculated to increase fear. And every day he remained free. The risk of more deaths grew. The ciphers weren't random. They mirrored his murders. Timing, location, type of victim. Each letter was a weapon, each symbol a threat. The Zodiac didn't just kill, he controlled the narrative of terror. The Zodiac's operations followed rhythm and precision. Predictable enough to anticipate, but clever enough to evade. And tonight, that rhythm could lead him to another victim, unless we intercepted it. The city was tense, alive with fear. Couples avoided secluded spots. Parents watched every move. Workers stayed indoors. And still, he moved among them, silent, calculating. The Zodiac's body count had risen, and he showed no signs of stopping. We had to anticipate him. Every street, every isolated lot, every couple parked at night became a potential target, and every prediction was a race against a killer who thrived on fear. The Zodiac's method was simple, but horrifying. Hunt, strike, vanish. Spread terror. And we had to be faster, smarter, and ready. Because his next strike was inevitable. The Zodiac's next victims were already moving through the city unaware. His attacks were deliberate, precise, and terrifyingly silent. Isolated couples, lone workers, anyone fitting his pattern could be next. And he was already watching, waiting, calculating. They didn't know it yet, but the Zodiac had chosen them. His method was methodical. Approach quietly, strike quickly, vanish without trace. He didn't just kill, he planted terror. And tonight, the city would feel it again. I watched from afar, analyzing every shadow, every movement. He had a pattern. Approach. Wait for the moment of vulnerability. Execute. Disappear. Timing was everything. If we acted too early, he would vanish. If too late, it would be another life lost. Alan remained a suspect, though nothing definitively tied him to this latest attack. Yet every detail obsession with guns, ciphers, and attention to detail fit the Zodiac's profile. We couldn't ignore him, but the killer's method alone demanded our focus. He moved like a shadow, silent, patient, calculating. Every step deliberate. Every second increased the couple's vulnerability and the city's terror. This was our chance. Every prediction, every map, every analysis led to this moment. But intercepting him required perfect timing. One misstep, and it would be another tragedy. The Zodiac struck with precision. Bullets fired in rapid sequence. Victims frozen in terror. The attack over before anyone could intervene. His method, sudden, calculated, designed to terrorize survivors and witnesses alike. Survivors would remember the terror, the precision. We logged everything: distance, timing, angles. Every attack taught us more about his operational style. And every detail was crucial if we hoped to prevent the next one. The city was alive with fear. Every isolated street, every late-night couple, every shadowed alley could be a target. The Zodiac thrived on panic. And tonight's attack only reinforced his method: strike, vanish, and leave the city questioning its safety. The Zodiac's pattern was predictable, yet lethal. He hunted with methodical precision. We could anticipate, we could try to intercept. But each strike reminded us, a killer like this leaves only fear in his wake. And the next strike could come at any moment. The Zodiac's letters weren't just taunts. They were maps to his method, codes to his madness. Each cipher contained hints about his next move, each symbol a reflection of his fear-driven logic. If we could decode them, we might anticipate his next strike. Lake Herman Road, Blue Rock Springs, Vallejo, Napa. Every attack followed a rhythm. The letters provided insight into his selection of victims, the timing, even the locations. He wanted to control us, to force us into a game of anticipation and fear. 5 confirmed deaths. 1 survivor. Yet each murder left traces in pattern and method. Angles of attacks, timing, distances, all part of the Zodiac's calculated approach. He killed with precision and vanished without trace. David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Michael Mageau, Paul Stein. Each attack carried the same signature: surprise, precision, terror. And each survivor or witness became a piece of the puzzle. The ciphers. They might predict his next attack location. We can't ignore the patterns any longer. Each letter was a weapon, each symbol a psychological strike. We had to understand his method, decode his madness, and anticipate the next strike before the city paid more. Patterns were emerging: isolated roads, parked couples, late-night victims, careful timing. If we acted now, we might intercept him. But the Zodiac's precision made the margin for error razor-thin. The city slept unaware of the danger that lurked. He moved like a shadow, striking when least expected. Every observation taught us more about his method, yet each second brought more risk to the public. We connected victims to the letters. Each murder mirrored a code. Each attack had a purpose. He wasn't random. He was precise. He was orchestrating fear, like a conductor directing a symphony of terror. We had to be proactive. Predict the next location. Position patrols. Anticipate his method. Every angle, every road, every isolated lot became a potential trap. For him, not the victims. The Zodiac's method was terrifyingly clear: hunt, strike, vanish, and instill fear. We had the patterns, the letters, the possible targets. Now it was a race against time. Every second counted, every calculation mattered, and the next attack would be our test. The Zodiac was methodical. Isolated roads, couples parked late at night, late-night cab drivers. Every detail of his attacks was calculated. We had to anticipate where he would strike next and position ourselves accordingly. The city's fear gave him power, but our planning could tip the balance. Every alley, every side street, every lot became a potential target. Toschi and Armstrong monitored patrols and civilian movements. We couldn't afford a mistake. The Zodiac's method was precise. He would exploit the slightest error. The ciphers gave us insight. He wasn't just killing randomly. Each symbol reflected his pattern: timing, location, victim type. Understanding the method was key, but predicting the human mind behind it was far more difficult. Tonight, we chose a higher-risk area, remote enough to be a likely target, visible enough for us to intervene. He would come because his method followed a rhythm. We just had to be ready. We deployed patrols strategically, covering escape routes, observing vantage points, and staying out of sight. Every angle, every street, every building could be the key to interception. The Zodiac's precision required ours to be even sharper. He moved silently, calculated each step. Every victim a target, every moment of hesitation a chance for fear to grow. We could see his method, anticipate his approach. But stopping him in time was the challenge. The Zodiac was clever, but patterns never lie. He might strike quickly, or wait for the perfect opportunity. Every second counted. We were ready to intercept. And tonight, the city's fate rested on anticipation, precision, and courage. We traced every possible route he might take, mapped the high-probability zones. Every isolated lot, every park, every alley became a potential trap for him, and a shield for the city. The city braced itself, unaware of the danger creeping through its streets. We hoped to anticipate him before another life was lost. But the Zodiac's method was lethal, precise, and terrifyingly patient. Patterns, ciphers, past attacks. Every detail led us here. He was a hunter. We were the prey-turned-predator. And tonight, the Zodiac would either slip again or meet the first obstacle he hadn't calculated. He struck again. A couple parked on the roadside, isolated, unaware. This was his method: precision, timing, silence. Every attack left fear in its wake, and tonight would be no different. They had no idea that a killer lurked nearby. The Zodiac chose targets based on vulnerability, isolation, timing, and opportunity. Every second counted for him and for us. I tracked his approach. Every movement precise, calculated. He wasn't just killing. He was controlling the narrative of terror. And tonight, our only chance was to intercept before another life was lost. He moved like a predator, patient, silent, deadly. Every step brought him closer to the inevitable strike, and every second increased our urgency. We scrambled patrols into position. Every exit route, every side street, every shadowed alley became a potential barrier. We had to act now. The Zodiac left no room for error. Every movement was deliberate. Every second a measure of control. He didn't just strike to kill. He struck to instill fear, to dominate the narrative, and to assert that the city could never catch him. The attack was swift. The Zodiac struck with precision. The couple froze in terror. The city's fear was mirrored in their eyes. but we were ready to act. We moved in synchrony. Patrols closed in from multiple directions. He had method, but we had preparation. Every calculated step from him was countered with anticipation. The city held its breath. Would he escape, as always? Or would our planning finally trap the methodical killer who had terrorized the Bay Area for so long? The next moments would determine everything. The Zodiac's method was clear: hunt, strike, vanish. We had studied every pattern, every letter, every attack. Tonight, we had the chance to interrupt his cycle, but even the best plans couldn't eliminate the danger completely. And the next strike would reveal the true challenge of catching a killer like him. The Zodiac vanished once again. The streets were empty, but the evidence of terror lingered. One more night of fear, another mark on the city's psyche. He had struck and then disappeared like a shadow swallowed by fog. I had anticipated him, deployed every resource, but still, he eluded capture. Every strike confirmed the precision of his method: calculated, patient, lethal. And every evasion reminded us why he had terrorized the Bay Area for so long. Patrols combed the streets, searching for clues. A dropped glove, footprints in the mud, faint tire tracks, but the Zodiac left little behind. His method ensured minimal trace, maximum fear. Every attack reinforced the pattern. Isolated roads, couples in parked cars, late-night victims. Every detail was methodical. Every letter, every cipher, an extension of his terror. And yet, predicting the next strike remained a puzzle we had to solve. Survivors carried the fear with them. Every encounter with him left a mark, physical or psychological. His method of terror was as potent as his killings. And the city's anxiety grew with each passing night. We had the patterns. We had the letters. We had every piece of the puzzle. Yet the Zodiac remained one step ahead. Every strike taught us more about his method, but also how elusive he truly was. And tomorrow, he would strike again. He was still out there. A shadow moving through the city, orchestrating terror with calculated precision. Our pursuit continued, but the clock was always ticking. The Zodiac's method was relentless, and so was the hunt. We mapped every high-probability location, every isolated road, every corner where he could strike next. The Zodiac's method was predictable, yet lethal. And the next encounter could determine whether we finally trapped him, or whether another life would be lost. Patterns, letters, attacks, all pieces of the same puzzle. Each strike, each letter, each victim brought us closer to understanding him. But understanding alone would not stop him. We needed action. The Zodiac was still at large. The city trembled under his shadow. And as dawn broke, we knew the hunt was far from over. Tomorrow, the cycle would continue. And the question remained, who would survive the next strike?